Hello, everybody. Just Lohse, another weekly update, Structural Building Components Association, SBCA, and it is November 6th, 2025. So one thing I want to talk about is our upcoming OQM in Napa. Just kind of jumping out of the gate. Our room registration deadline was supposed to be Friday the 7th, but it actually got extended to the 14th. So you have a whole nother week to register both for the OQM and for the hotel that accompanies it, where the estate at Yountville, which looks to be a spectacular facility. I'm really looking forward to experiencing that, seeing what it's all about. It's just kind of nice to be in some nice settings once in a while. So with that, we've got an action-packed OQM plan for that. We've got Dean Worley from John Burns Real Estate Consulting coming in as an economist to give us kind of another update as far as where the economy's going, what we see for housing. Obviously, we're kind of in one of those situations where things can change fairly, significantly based on what the Fed does. Obviously, the government shutdown's got some uncertainty going. So I think it's another timely, implications for to try to get an understanding of where the housing market's going. So hopefully Dean's able to do that for us and to have some Q&A to go along with that. So that's part of the programming, as well as going to talk a little bit about unprotected floor systems and some different options and some different things going on there, building upon what we had for education at BCMC. This is going to get a little bit more in depth. SBCA has been investigating, doing some testing, some other things. Don't want to say too much here and now, but it is one of those that if you want to learn more about that, if unprotected floor systems could be an opportunity in your market to compete with 2x10s, it's probably a conversation you want to be a part of. So looking forward to that as well with what we've got some people that are going to talk about it, myself included, as far as what the future of that looks like. Also going to review some ICC code changes, what's been going on recently, where we're seeing things happening with the code for not exactly immediately, but with the next revisions, as well as the process of what that does and how code change goes into effect and, the planning. And it's a very democratic process. It's kind of painstaking, but it's one of those that I don't think a lot of people fully understand. So we'll kind of educate some things there, as well as really talking about what does the future of component manufacturing look like, having some conversations there, robotics, AI, products, materials used, that sort of stuff. And one of those forward-looking, kind of a good time at the end of the year to be like, okay, what does the next several years hold for our industry? And to be part of that conversation, to know where you're going, where your industry's going, and are you going to be a part of it? Or are you going to be kind of that staunch, entrenched, like this is the way I'm always going to do it? So always some things to where, we try to have conversations for you to be able to make decisions. Beyond that, some committee updates for SBCA, where I think we're going to have a lot of the people from the committees talk and say, this is what we've been working on. This is what we see for the next year. So really some updates there. For our board of directors, we're going to have a budgeting meeting, as well as a board meeting that we have at each of our OQMs. We're also going to pair in a lot of networking and team building. We've got a pretty cool team building exercise that we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for it. I think it can be fun for everybody, but it'll be fun for, those that are in attendance most of all. But with that, we're going to be kind of, because it is Napa, weaving in some wine tasting. I think we're going to have a sommelier there to kind of talk about it. So if you've got a really eclectic palate and you may disagree with the sommelier or however that goes, because I have no idea, I know what I like and what tastes good, but it's also an opportunity for people like me to learn. Like, why is it this way? Why is it that way? Have those conversations and kind of, if wine is one of those things that's of interest, you can learn a little bit. If not, we'll have a cool one too that might be more of the suds environment that way. We'll have a great group dinner. But one of the other things that we're kind of excited about is, as a fundraiser for SBCA Foundation, we were able to secure a reservation for 4 at French Laundry, which is a really amazing restaurant from what I hear. But that's going to be on an auction. Look for that coming out, probably industry news this upcoming week, for you to be able to bid on that. Hopefully you're going to be in attendance at Napa already, but if not, here's another reason to register. But that's one that it'll include kind of the base meal. You can have some add-ons that you'd have to pay for, but we're going to auction that off. And it sounds amazing from everything that I've heard and researched about that restaurant. It's supposed to be one of the best in the world. And I'm always interested to watch and see and witness people that are the best in the world do something. So, we'll see where that goes, but know that is coming as well. So really a lot of events happening with SBCA. Typically this is kind of a slower time, but we're really gearing up for the end of this year, but then also into 2026, we've got our component craft coming. That's going to be at the same time as the Austin OQM. There's going to be some overlap, but it's going to be kind of one of those, we don't want the component manufacturer, we don't want our suppliers taking up the spaces there. We want to make sure that the people that need to learn how to specify more components are in that room. So had some conversations on that already. And obviously people want to be where their customers are, but this is one where we really need to do some teaching that way. But again, the Austin OQM coming up February. Nashville is where we're going to take the next component craft. That's going to be, I believe, in May of 2026. And then, we've got obviously the Bellevue, and then followed by a Charlotte OQM Way next year, but also planning for BCMC 2026 in Columbus. So just a lot of events, really trying to draw engagement, draw component manufacturers, and draw broader industry folks together, which is what we try to do here as part of our mission with SBCA. But that's enough for now. We will talk a little bit more about it, but you still go out and get registered for the Napa OQM. And until then, we'll talk to you next week. And so peeks up and the press on, and press on for Napa. I want to see everybody there. Goodbye.